In fact, the same Terry McAuliffe who sold himself as a great American jobs creator was building his new factory in China. 500 acres in Mongolia, China, an 18 million square foot factory, enough Chinese jobs to create 300,000 vehicles a year.
Now explain, you're building a factory in China, but this is going to create American jobs. There's a little bit of a disconnect.
What we're doing in China is because of the high tariffs, we have to build there.
I went to China and actually bought an electric car company. I'm sick and tired of our jobs being taken from the United States to China.
But McAuliffe's new China factory left some workers in his temporary Horn Lake facility apprehensive.
As we were working there, they were claiming that they had a company over there in China that a select few of us supposed to went over there and stay for about 3 months to actually show them how to build a car. So basically, it was like they were taking our jobs and taking it over there.
I'm proud to say I've done what no one's ever done. I actually went to China and bought their biggest electric car company. And I moved the entire company back to the United States of America.
He also told us that he could sell ice to the Eskimos, so.
China was receiving a new factory, but Mississippi was out millions of dollars.
Mississippi was very aggressive and put up a very substantial financial package, almost worth about $18 million. And we have 2 plants in Mississippi.
We need that money back.
Henry Nixon is on the Tunica County Board of Supervisors.
You know, that money that we invested should be returned to the people.
To others like Nikita Dean, who works to get community members into good jobs, it's a bait and switch.
It should be returned with interest because we were interested in them coming here. People took an interest in that company, an interest in wanting jobs, an interest in development, and an interest in them. So it should be returned with interest because, like I said, it's been a big facade.
We'll have several thousand employees there, and then I'm going to announce my next plant in the next, hopefully, 60 to 90 days to build my next generation of cars. I'm nuts on renewable energy.
I think it's greed. And people really think that that's okay for them to do it to other people. It's not. It is not.
And they're huge job creators, right? We will create jobs, thousands of jobs.
The rumor was, man, that we were about to get laid off. Everybody heard, so everybody's like, oh, God.
2,000 jobs in America, 2,000 there. You know, win-win situation.
Terry McAuliffe, job creator.
They laid like 15 of us off at one time.
These workers were terminated in early 2013. The so-called temporary factory's small workforce was slashed.
A month before I got laid off, they told everybody be prepared to work overtime, you know, right after Christmas. And it was just a few weeks later, you know, but they got rid of us. Yeah.
The layoffs hit workers in this already suffering area especially hard.
I talked to my pastor about it and a couple more people that I go to church with. My pastor would basically tell me to hold on, pray about it.
We were already hurting in our community. This community is hurting. We didn't need anyone to come and make the pain worse.
I don't know much about Terry, but what I have read about him, I don't really care for him, to be honest with you.
Weeks before the layoffs, Terry McAuliffe had quietly resigned as chairman of Green Tech while holding on to at least $250,000 of stock in the company.
Well, as far as I know, he left the company. He just quit. I think that might be a reason that they let us go.
Back in Virginia, McAuliffe talked as if he were still with the company, that he was busy building electric cars. He spoke to a business forum on January 22nd, 2013, 7 weeks after his resignation.
I'm building electric cars now.
As news begins to spread about Green Tech's lack of progress in Mississippi, is Virginia now breathing a sigh of relief?
It was McAuliffe who promised full factory operation and 900 jobs by the end of 2012. To date, no factory has been built.
Reverend McKinley Daly is on the Tunica County Board of Supervisors.
We are trying to dig into it to try to find out, okay, if they're going to open when is the money going to be released?
It's a lot of money to people who do not have a lot of money.
In 2009, the Washington Post wrote, McAuliffe's made a fortune investing in companies that laid off workers and drained investors. Now, in 2013, it seems history is repeating itself.
Terry, your plants, we talked about it last segment in Mississippi, something like 1,000 jobs by the end of the year.
Full production.
If you give us your word on something, we just want you to keep your word. It's sort of heartbreaking.
The community deserves better than that. I mean, from what I can tell, we welcome these people with open arms, and maybe they were intending to take advantage of us the whole time. I don't know. But no, we don't deserve that. We've given them the Southern hospitality, so.
With McAuliffe slipping out of green tech and no factory in sight, the people of Tunica, Mississippi ask, what happened to the incentive money? Where is the EB-5 money from investors?
Where is it going? It's very fishy.
Green Tech was unresponsive to requests to interview a representative for this film. McAuliffe would repeat this very same pattern to those who least expected it.
This is a family thing. Even though we're not related, it's a family thing. I mean, I know most everybody that walks down the street, and we speak, and we kind of look out for each other.
Dan Howe is executive director of the Downtown Franklin Association.
Franklin's claim to fame, or this whole Southampton County area, has a lot to do with the wood basket.
And for decades, the surrounding forests and huge paper mill provided multitudes of jobs here in Franklin, Virginia.
International Paper Union Camp was the lifeblood of Franklin, and it has been since Franklin was founded.
As you probably know, the city of Franklin shut down their paper mill after 150 years, and 1,100 people were thrown on the street. I saw this as a perfect opportunity to do what I talked about. We got to get into the green space, so.
The press noted job creation in rural Virginia could help McAuliffe, who is from New York, erase his reputation as a carpetbagger. McAuliffe was traversing the state, promising a green jobs bonanza. He found a receptive audience in hard-hit Franklin.
Before I retired, I worked at the mill. There was a lot of people that, depended on that for the economy, for their living.
When the mill closed, I mean, it was terrible. It was devastating. The economy dropped.
We've been through floods. We've been through economic downturns with the major employer with International Paper closing.
Now, Terry McAuliffe had shown up on Franklin's doorstep.
You saw the graduate, plastics. Today, wood pellets.
That's great.
McAuliffe's latest creation would be a green energy company he called Franklin Pellets. Those in Franklin were looking for a ray of hope, and McAuliffe promised salvation.
We're going to make wood pellets, which basically is pulverized wood. We're going to sell them to Europe. We'll be the largest. We'll make 500,000 tons a year. It's a whole new idea here for Virginia.
I don't know enough about how you make a wood pellet. I know they can make paper there, and I know they have made fluff pulp there, and I know they made tissue. I don't know if that same process, obviously the machines that make those don't make pellets.
International Paper officials did not release information about their negotiations to repurpose their plant, but that did not stop McAuliffe from continuing his story.
As you know, we've taken control of the International Paper facility, the forest down there. We're going to make...
No, I don't think so. He definitely has not taken control of the IP mill site. I think IP is very much in control of that plant site.
In fact, a company called ST Tissue did successfully open in the Franklin Mill. It wasn't Terry McAuliffe's company, but that still did not stop Terry McAuliffe.
So I'm back in business, and I'm working on a couple great projects. A group of us took control of a closed-down, shuttered paper mill in Franklin, Virginia.
That's a bold-faced one, so far as I know. I know there are two companies over there. One of them is ST, and one of them is International Paper. There's no pellet company there.
There is no Franklin Pellets, no.
Not that I'm aware of. Only two people I know in there is ST Tissues and International Paper with the fluff pulp.
I hate to say this, but politicians will tell you about anything.
We're going to make wood pellets there, saving 200 to 300 jobs that were lost when they shut that paper facility down.
don't say it if you're not going to do it. Don't get people's hopes up. It's not right, and it's not the good, honest thing to do. Don't try to fool people into thinking that you're something that you're not. Be straight with people, and you haven't been straight.
The Tidewater Press reports 3 years after McAuliffe announced his plans, there is no evidence of Franklin pellets. But McAuliffe's fantastical business stories were taking hold. The Washington Examiner wrote, "Now McAuliffe is most known in Virginia for turning the International Paper Plant into an industrial wood pellet firm." McAuliffe told the paper, "I did what I said I was going to do. I created jobs."
I'm creating thousands of new jobs, American jobs. I love doing this.
To Virginians like Becky, who lost her business as a contractor, this talk is cheap.
I'm doing the best I can. It's been a long haul. It's finally settling out now. We're getting back on our feet and all. We lost our house. And
now I'm in the business. As you know, we've taken control of the International Paper Facility, the forest down there.
These people deserve better than that. They really do. It's a good community. I like living around here. And I know a lot of people that live here, and they're all my friends, and we're all neighbors, so to speak. And if you lie to one, you're lying to me. And I just don't like to be lied to.
I'm going to create thousands of jobs. I started my first business when I was 14 years old. And let me tell you something, folks, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Regardless of what he hopes green tech will become, right now it has not produced much.
I don't know much about Terry, but what I have read about him, I don't really care for him.
What I've done is said we have 2 plants, as I said, in Mississippi. These are jobs of the future. We're there, we're manufacturing, but I really took it to the next level. I went to China, bought a company, and brought it back to America.
Right.
I don't personally know anybody that's been hired to work there. So as far as thousands of people hired, who are they and where are they?
We've taken control of the International Paper Facility, the forest down there.
that's a bold-faced one.
I think they laid off up to about 50 people. And so now those people are unemployed.
Well, we've raised, we're in great shape financially. Yeah, I'm a big believer, get your money up front. But to be honest with you, Jan, it's not hard if you have a new idea.
You opened that company in Mississippi instead of in Virginia. It hasn't created many jobs in Mississippi.
I'm going to create thousands of jobs.
I've learned from all of those. I want to bring those experiences with me.
We were told it was a permanent layoff.
We have built 4 vehicles. Hope to hire about 5,000 people in a manufacturing facility.
And we hope through full capacity, 300,000 cars a year, which should result in about 2,000 new American jobs.
They told us they was from China.
They were taking our jobs and taking it over there.
Virginia officials say they were dubious of your plan in the first place.
I'm creating thousands of new jobs, American jobs. I love doing this.
If you lie to one, you're lying to me. And I just don't like to be lied to.
Yeah, let me tell you something, folks. You ain't seen nothing yet, nothing yet, nothing yet, nothing yet, nothing yet.